Hi, this is Shankar and Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe to everybody. And there has been a lot of requests on me to talk about the chart, what is going to happen in India and particularly around the world. My analysis is totally based on astrology, what I understand of astrology. Astrology is not 2 plus 2, I would say, but it does give indications for sure. And astrology's input, let's understand, is karma. And karma plays in its own ways. Like for a particular person, he may have stolen the money of somebody, may have deceived money of someone in one karma. In the next karma, it is not necessary that he will be deceived with money. It could be possible that his health becomes very bad, and because of the bad health, he has to spend a lot of money and also go through the pain which the other person went. I mean, when he deceived, the other person went through a lot of pain and deception because he lost his money, he was deceived of his money. Now, in this karma, it doesn't mean that the same person, it will be tit for tat. The karma can play in a different way. The karma can play that a person, as I explained, can, perhaps, lose his health, and because of the loss of his health, deterioration of health, he may have to go to hospital and have various tribulations. So that is how karma plays, but astrology does give a very good indication. It's a science, very old, it's a part of our Vedas. Vedas was the first thing that was done, then it was explained through words. A lot of things were destroyed with various people who had invaded our country. A lot of things were saved, and we are all trying to work and research and find out the missing links and do astrology with understanding of the stars, as I understand, with my limited knowledge. And of course, one should have a little power of coming to the final vector. So, since looking at astrology today, as far as a chart of India is concerned, India has Taurus Lagna. The chart will be displayed at the back. It has Taurus Lagna. It has a lot of planets in third house. So, there is basically a jam of planets in the third house. When there is a jam of planets in the third house, too many planets are there in the third house, it just shows that if in a room there are 6 people sitting, what will happen? If some decision has to be taken, somebody has to become courageous, somebody has to fight, somebody has to raise his voice, or a decision will not be taken. So in our country's case also, everything will only come after some success will only come after delay, frustration, and a lot of courage has to be emancipated. That is what is there. It's in the house of Cancer. Cancer is a very deceptive house. It's got very 3 rashis of Purva Phalguni, Pushya and Ashlesha. Ashlesha is a very dangerous nakshatra. The nakshatras do play a very important role. And we have Rahu in the first house, is very important in our horoscope. In Taurus, fixed sign, Rahu being there, it can do wonders. But the Dasha which is going to come is of Mars, and Mars becomes the lord of 7th house and 12th house. 7th house in national astrology is always of the opposition. It is the opposite person. So you're dealing with opposition, you're dealing with countries outside the world. 12th house is about losses. 3rd house, as I explained to you, is all about neighbors, and I told you a lot of planets are there in 3rd house, so neighbors are not going to be very friendly with us. And 6th house is your, kind of the demarcations. I mean, this land is one, the consciousness is one, but we have demarcated it. 6th house is of demarcation. It's a house of where you fight, etc. And the 4th house is your own house. I mean, the house is, in our case, a lot of 7, that is the house where you have to fight. The house where you lose is in the 2nd house, which is the house of Mercury, and Mars sits there. And today Jupiter is transiting over this Mercury, so it is energized. Jupiter energizes Mars, so Mars becomes a very important planet. Number 1, it's only on the basis of transit, and Saturn at the moment is energizing our 11th house, which is a savior because it is in pieces, but next year it would be in the 12th house. So at the moment it is in the 11th house, so that will have its advantages and disadvantages, which we will discuss. So this is the chart of India. I'm trying to astrologically just to make you understand that there is basics behind it. Now the basic is Jupiter, the Dasha of India. I mean, the Dasha of India the Dasha of Mars, what is important is you can have a lot of planets placed negatively, positively, Raj Yogas, etc. But they have to be activated. It's like this, that unless until I don't go and shout at somebody, the person will not shout at me mostly, or if I don't prick somebody, he may not prick at you. So the activation has to come. In our case, the Dasha of Mars gets activated, and the Dasha of Mars gets activated in October. So therefore, it becomes Jupiter is also activating Mars, being in the house of Gemini. The Dasha of Mars also becomes activated in October, and that becomes the problem. And then we have to see Nakshatra, which I will basically explain you about Nakshatras also while we are talking, so that you understand astrology. And when you discuss, you understand what happens. Jupiter at the moment is through Adra Nakshatra. It has why is Jupiter, and Jupiter is moving in a very fast place. There is an arc. Let's understand between 2025 to 2033, which is very important, and this 7-8 year arc is going to bring a lot of changes. This is first thing one has to understand, and this is because of the Atichari Jupiter, Saturn getting retrograded various places, and whenever Saturn and Mars will make relationship and Rahu comes into conjunction, it becomes an important aspect. In my case, I also take the 5th and 9th situations also, and I consider them as good as conjunctions. 1, 5 and 9, I take them as conjunctions, though all planets should be taken into consideration. The 2nd house, the 12th house, the 7th house, the 6th house, the 8th house. Every planet has a relationship to make with the planet which is getting activated, or the house which is getting activated. That is absolutely important to be taken. Now, considering this, Jupiter at the moment has gone from Mrigashira Nakshatra to Adra Nakshatra. Now, what is Mrigashira Nakshatra? Mrigashira Nakshatra is shown by a deer. It is a timid animal. It looks good. It is lovely, but it is Mayavi. You don't know how it behaves. The deer of Lord Rama. There is a story in Ramayana. If you understand Hindu mythology, those who are listening, Hindu mythology, the deer which is represented was a Mayavi deer which was put by Ravan, and Sita, wanted to have it. Sita being the goddess, being Lakshmi, being the mother of all mothers, she also got attracted to the deer. Though she was in the world and there's a different connotation to it, but deer is a symbolic of that thing. So this Mrigashira represents deer. It represents timidity. It represents purpose. It represents fixed values. Remember one thing, Mrigashira Nakshatra is a very dangerous nakshatra. The person whom you are dealing with will be very friendly to you, will be very nice to you, will be very calm and cool, but he can change positions. He can never be a friend. Mrigashira Nakshatra, whenever Jupiter is Mrigashira, you cannot make friends at that time, you can only have treaties. It is transactional, because Mrigashira Nakshatra people can change very fast, just like a deer changes its colors very fast. Also, Mrigashira Nakshatra people should not be considered. Mrigashira Nakshatra is a nakshatra which cannot be considered as a very submissive nakshatra, because it is represented by Lord Parvati, and Lord Parvati can take the roop of Kali also. So they can become Kali and they can become Parvati. So this is what Mrigashira Nakshatra is, very important. And Mrigashira Nakshatra, there's a story behind it, that when Brahma, everybody was created by Brahma. So even everything was created by him, and when he wanted to increase the world, he got after his daughter Rohini. He got after his daughter Rohini, and he started running after Rohini to have a relationship with her. When he was running after Rohini in the form for deer, he was running after Rohini to catch her and have a relationship with her. That time Lord Shiva came in the form of Rudra and saved the deer and beheaded Brahma's one head. That what are you doing? I mean, you're going after your daughter. I mean, that is Rohini. So this is what is the nakshatra behind Mrigashira is Rohini. First is Rohini, then Mrigashira, then comes the next nakshatra, Adra, which is of Lord. Therefore, this is the nakshatra which we are running, is of Rudra. It is of Lord Shiva. It is a nakshatra which basically corrects things. It sets things rightly. It does not know finance and economics much. It knows how to, cut and do things correctly. Whatever has gone wrong has to be put right. Just as Lord Rama made a lot of rules, Lord Krishna did not agree to the rules, and you said, let's break those rules and let's make new rules. So what I see with this nakshatra, Jupiter coming to Adra, the consciousness is of Shiva, the consciousness is of Rudra, which is I cannot explain other nakshatra, which is basically has got the energies of Lord Shiva in it to some extent, and also you have seen Lord Shiva. I mean, as far as this is concerned, it is righteousness which works for him. He put Brahma's, and there is an element of Rahu which comes in Shiva, and Shiva is connected to Rahu in a way, because one of the books you read, mythology, Nilkanta is basically, the element of Rahu is in Shiva also. So Rahu has both ways to play. Rahu does destruction for construction. Rahu also is the creator of a lot of Maya, which will lead to again illusion, which has to be destructed and then constructed. So that is the energy which is there, which is, I'm going too much into the nakshatra now, but that is what is the nakshatra which is there. Similarly, Rahu is in Aquarius. Rahu today is in the nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada, and Saturn is in the nakshatra of Uttar Bhadrapada. These two nakshatras also are nakshatras which are very fierce nakshatras. Both nakshatras are very fierce nakshatras as far as I'm concerned. And let's understand, I will just give you'll see a clipping, a photograph at the back of these nakshatras, give you an idea of these nakshatras also. But these nakshatras are also very fierce nakshatra, which on the one hand are good for technology, one hand good, but they're basically nakshatras which talk about revolution. They talk about a god depicted by 1 foot, a man dancing in 1 foot, depicted by skulls, depicted by chaos, and it's all this chaos which brings back order. So this is what the nakshatras of Saturn and Rahu also are depicting at the moment. So I would say that the times at the moment are not so very good, and between July 25 to November 25 is a period when there will be pressure. There will be pressure on the economy. There will be pressure of not only in India but across the world. There will be conflicts for sure. This is also a period where, as far as India is concerned, I would feel we should be careful with water. Some tragedy with respect to water, some kind of storm, tornado, heavy rains in one particular area, leading to destruction. This is an indication which I see as far as our country is concerned, India is concerned, India and around the borders. This is concerned, we should be careful of this thing. And the pressure, which will be the actual pressure, and this is why, because in this period Jupiter becomes, those who know astrology would know Jupiter becomes Atichari, and that is a very not a good feature which happens. Jupiter comes into Adra Nakshatra. Saturn is again, becomes Saturn. I have got Saturn becomes kind of retrograde, in the retrograde motion from about 13th of July. Rahu is in Aquarius, Ketu is in the Leo sign, and Mars, which is very critical at the moment, is in Leo, and it is with Ketu. At the moment the difference is about 13 degrees, but as soon as Mars moves, it would come near to Ketu, and that's going to be a very pressure point which would happen. And I would say that the most important and the points where we have to be careful is between mid of October to end of December 25. It is not a good period where issues, even conflicts within the country, conflicts within people will happen. that is the negative side, and it is important to first tell the negative side, because then people get we all get clear that we should be working. It's also a time when I would say that the rate of employment would increase. The business would not be as good as it should be. I mean, that is also one thing which I see. I also see that between the next period which comes, which is going to be very critical, which will be as even worse than this period, would be between June 26 to November 26. The planetary positions are such that between June 26 to November 26, again, it is a period of equally great tensions, conflicts, happenings which are not desired. So these are periods, two periods, please mark them, and we will come back to them. One is mid-October to end of December. Second is, as I said, is between June 26 to November 26. A lot of questions people keep on asking about Pakistan. I would say that Pakistan, by the end October 26 to the end of December 27, by the end of 27, Pakistan will not be in the shape as it is. It has, I will put the chart at the back. It will be shown as a chart at the back. It has an Aries Lagna and Lord of Sixth, that is the planet which is in fourth. Plus there are a lot of other things also which actually Bhumika, I mean, it khand kar deta, it divides the country. It divides the country. So from end 26 to December 26, it will be very bad for Pakistan. I would say that by the end of 27 and by the end of 26, I mean, it will be a process, but by the end of 27, POK, which was a part of India, will be a part of India again. I mean, in terms of we saying that it is a part, that we saying that it is not a disputed territory, but and also in Pakistan's chart, I also see that between June 26 to November 26, or from the end of 26, the last quarter of 26 till the end of 27, even there could be bloodshed of a very high order in Pakistan in various ways, terrorism, etc., which will be there. So that is one country which people are keen on. So, but I didn't want to talk about this. But yes, since we are all very interested, Pakistan is going to have bloodshed, and the end of 26, 27, bloodshed, anarchy, lawlessness, etc. would happen. And I would say that by the end of 26, Pakistan occupied Kashmir would be a part of India. But while I talk all this, logically you would also understand that the two periods, the issues which I have told in October, December, should be careful. But what I would say is that as far as we are concerned, the countries' economies of internationally, the economies of various countries would not do well. But comparatively, India would do well. So comparative to other countries, we would do well. I have seen, if you look at the horoscope of the US, I feel by the mid of 26 and by 27, by let's say, I would say by 27 end, that is when Saturn goes into Aries. Saturn goes into Aries. USA itself internally would be under a lot of pressures. I have also seen the horoscope of Trump and President Trump, and it shows that he would be himself under a lot of pressures to resolve a lot of issues after June 26. And I mean, it would start now, but after June 26 would be the peak time when he would himself be under a lot of pressures to resolve things within his country. So I do not see a lot of international I do not see much of disruptions, as people keep on saying, will be created by him personally, because he himself would be under tremendous pressure as far as his own country is concerned. I would also say in India, a very important point would be when Mars will transit out of Cancer, then it will give 45-50 days would be good again. But November, December, any time. I mean, in November, December, October, December is a time when we should there will be something which will not be correct as far as India's peace is concerned, internal, external, economics, decisions, etc. is concerned, because Mars gets into the nakshatra of Anuradha, and from Vishaka it goes to Anuradha. Again, it's in the house of disputes, so there could be issues with disputes and allied issues, which are not good words, which should not be repeated, I said. So the important point which I have told is 20th October to December 25, pressure point for India. I mean, July 25 to November 25 and 25 is a pressure point. October to December, greater pressure point. We have to be very careful. June 26 to November 26, I think there will be conflicts and disputes. Pakistan occupied Kashmir, should come back to India. End 26 to December 27, not a good time, or last quarter of 26 to the end of 27, not a good time for Pakistan. I see bloodshed, I see blood. December 27 to 33 is a period which is a period to watch out, to see, and a lot of changes could take place. Now, as far as world war is concerned, my view is that my very clear view on this is that there would be nothing like a war which would cripple people, because when we talk about war as a nuclear war, it could spoil the DNA, it could create a lot of ravage. So there will be a world war where a lot of countries, at the moment we have two countries fighting, like Iran and Israel, or we have issues with our neighbors, or we have some little bits here and there happening, but that could keep on happening. These are the seeds. So at the moment, 2025 to about June 27, the seeds would be born. The seeds would be born for the world war to happen. The world war, in terms where a lot of people would get engaged into a war. It will not be a nuclear war. It will not be a war where it will be a total disruption. But yes, a lot of countries together taking sides would be engaged into war, and that would happen when Saturn transits in Taurus, especially when again it is in Rohini Nakshatra, which I have talked to you when I was explaining about Mrigashira Nakshatra. I have also talked about Rohini Nakshatra, that Rohini and Mrigashira, the story of Rohini and Mrigashira also. So Saturn would be in Rohini Nakshatra, and Jupiter also would be placed in positions which will not be good. The speed of Jupiter also will not be accurate, will not be correct. Retrogression of Saturn, etc. would happen, and the period of 2030 to 2033 would be a period between 2030 to 2032 June, or let's say end of 2032, will be a period when there a lot of countries would be in conflict. There would be a world war kind of a situation, where after that there would be, as I said, corrections, or a lot of things will happen. My view is that India would emerge as a very strong country. India would also emerge as a country where it would also be where its philosophy, its spirituality, its learnings, whatever, people would come to adopt it, to adapt it. Everything has, if 80% is positive, 20% could be negative also. But when I'm talking about the positive part of it. 80% positive people would look upon India. India would be a very big power to reckon with, because, and even the Rahu Dasha starts. Rahu is always not bad. Rahu in Taurus will make a country which will which will have firm leaders, which will be very good in financial issues. It will do very well. It will be in a position also very good in technology, and will also be in a position where it will be able to propagate, where people will come to India for its spiritual knowledge. That is what it has to tell, which is different from what people understand spirituality is. I mean, Indian way of living and Western way of living, or any other country way of living, is different, and religion is nothing but a way of life. So to adopt India's way of life would be a period when India would be looked at after 2032. I am very sure about it. Now here we come also to the planets, which I keep on saying is who is going to lead the country. I feel Srinath, a lot of videos which keep on coming, where people keep on saying that Shri Narendra Modi will not remain the Prime Minister. He will have to step down. I do not see that happening. Yes, I do see in that position a lot of stress will be there. Even at this time, he has to take decisions, and when decisions are taken, it is always said it's better. A person is good. One person is good who decides and makes a negative decision, rather than a person who doesn't decide and puts you, drowns you into the water. So he will take decisions. Some decisions may not be right, some decisions may be wrong, because there would be pressures on him. So the pressure part of it, I see, will be there, especially in the year of 2026, 2027. I'm sure that he will win the elections in 2029. He would come back as the Prime Minister of 2029. He would also lead, because I'm talking only of the arc of 2025 to 2033, he would also lead the country into that 2032-33, when India, becomes a torchbearer, a beacon, a light for other countries to have a look at. So that position is also going to be there. As far as the world alignments are concerned, the two countries, some countries which look friends today, may not become friends, and that would happen mostly in 2029, 2032. Like Russia and China look very good friends today. They may not become the best of their friends. Russia could steer off independently. I see Russia's chart as becoming a stronger chart as compared to China. China after 2029. The downfall would start after 2027, which would not be so evident, but after 2029, 30, I see China not being as big a world economy as it is. It is going to slide down. I feel Russia would come up. Russia and China today are seen as collaborative friends. My view, seeing their charts, is Russia would separate itself from China, and Russia would be a different power by itself. America would remain in the reckoning, but there is a time where I already told you that America, in terms of 2026, 2027, till about mid 2027 would be a period when internally it would have its own kinds of problems. It depends, a rich person has its own problem, a person who is poor has his own problems. The problems are there. What I'm saying is that the problems will become much more. Even if it's a rich country, the problems will be on a different nature altogether, but they will be there, they will increase. But it will be able to stabilize itself, hold itself. After June 2027, it will be able to doing rational things and coming back into a stream. As far as its own economy is concerned, I'm not talking about international political situation, though it will always play a very important role. It has a heavy 8th house, which is there, which is all about diplomacy and having countries to be controlled. To deal with various countries with secret and very deep diplomacy. Anyway, that is a different subject. I don't want to get into that at the moment. Another thing which people keep talk to me about the stocks. I would say that the stocks this year, I don't know what is bull and bearish, but I see crash is only if the market crashes below 40%. So I don't see the market crashing below 50%, 40% as it happened in 2008 or even during Corona. I see the market being at this level and hovering around the present level as it is today as I speak, up and down a little bit. 2026 would be a period where I see more of an economic recession taking place, employment reducing, issues of that sort happening, more akin to the middle class. I would say that those in the middle class or lower middle class, upper middle class, please do not leave a job, stay invested, and this is also the time to increase your skill set, because 2027 it is the time to increase your skill set, to better your skill sets. If you're doing something, you better it, but any rash decisions would not be a good decision. For the youngsters, it's basically, and especially in the year 2026. 2026, I do see the economy going down. Again, as far as the share market is concerned, somehow it will hold itself but there is not going to be any high increase. As far as my view is, gold is going to be a good commodity to be invested, to keep yourself invested in, and it may even become double in 2028. If it is a lakh today, it may become 2 lakhs. Somewhere in that area. Double, near double. So gold and silver are good commodities to stay invested in, which would be good for the people. So if you plan your funds or plan your money, if depends how conservative you are. You can plan it between FD, equity, debt, gold, silver, and these are things how people plan it out. I'm not talking about the super rich or very rich people, because it will not make much of a difference to them in terms of a lot of things. Business is different, but here it won't make a difference. So here I would say that gold and silver would be good this year till December. Crypto also will not do bad, but crypto again, if you're dealing with crypto, be very intelligent, because 2027-28 I see crypto fluctuating, but crypto could give you money, but it's like speculative in nature. If you're good at it, if your Mercury is good in your chart, then crypto would not be bad. But this is what I see as far as the shares are concerned, and the way things pan out internationally. So 2027 is going to be till 2027. After 2027, 2029, I see, we keep on missing out the period and come to 2030, because that is a period when a lot of alignments, a lot of changes, a lot of deep diplomacy, a lot of relationship changes, etc. would keep on happening, because Jupiter keeps on moving between these two signs of Gemini and Cancer, and then to Leo, which are signs which have such nakshatras, which are stable, which sometimes look beautiful, which will look aggressive, deception. So all these, if you look at all those things are there in those nakshatras. So all those things will manifest themselves in a way to create a better economy, a better transformation, which will happen after a kind of a world war in 2032-33. That is the frame from. That is how things would happen. So 2027-29 also is a period when similar sort of issues would be there, but little different in nature, where actually internal conflicts, etc. in a lot of countries would increase, equations would change, losses would happen, economy will be a very important issue to be dealt with, and also a time in India when those who were vested in spirituality, contentment is there. They understand, like if you have food, if you have a house, clothes to wear, it's enough. If these kinds of contentment ratios are there, it would be very good for those in 2027 to 29, because that is one thing which would help people. Otherwise, for the youth, it depends. The youth consciousness would be, volatile in nature during that time. So, and also internationally, there would be changes, sides, in terms of alignments which were there, leading to a world war, which I say again, keep on repeating, in 2032. So I mean, this is how I would say. So, but till about June 2027, let's see how things happen. Let us first see between 25 to 27. I've told you the important dates. I've covered the currency part of it, the international part of it, the business part of it, and time to time I would keep on telling about things as they keep on happening. Water could be an issue at this point of time, and also with the right word that till June 2000, India would be much better than various other world economies. India would be better in some way or the other. Wishing you all the best, and wishing the Almighty, the great consciousness, and Lord Shiva, who in our thing is the creator of the entire world, and it is his nakshatra which is going to play a very pivotal role in terms of what is going to happen and what is not going to happen. We're praying to him, wishing you all the best. Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna, Jai Bhavani. Thank you.